The Twilight Registry, Case File TR 951. The Marrow Creek Shadow Reports. Classification: Active. Do not investigate alone. On the morning of March 7th, 2019, a woman walked into the Marrow Creek Sheriff's Department and filed a missing persons report for a man named Dale Hutchins. She gave his full name, his date of birth, his address on Larkspur Lane, and described the clothes she'd been wearing when she last saw him. The intake officer, Linda Marsh, thanked her, filed the report, and asked the woman to leave a contact number. The woman smiled and said, "You won't need to call me. You'll find him in the creek." Then she walked out. Linda told me she didn't think much of it until she looked at the security footage that evening. The woman cast no shadow. Not under the fluorescent lobby lights, not outside in the noon sun, not anywhere. And Dale Hutchins, he was alive and well on March 7th. He went to work. He ate lunch at the Marrow Creek Diner. His wife confirmed he was home by 6. He was reported missing on March 9th. His car was found idling at the bridge over Marrow Creek. The driver's door was open. The radio was tuned to a station that doesn't exist. That was the first report. It was not the last. Over the next 11 days, the Marrow Creek Sheriff's Department received 47 missing persons reports. Every single one was filed in person. Every single one was filed by a witness who cast no shadow. And every single one named a resident of Marrow Creek who was, at the time of filing, alive and accounted for. The reports arrived at a rate of 4 or 5 per day. They followed the correct form. They included proper identification details, driver's license numbers, social security digits, distinguishing marks. Some included details that the subjects themselves had never told anyone. One report listed a birthmark that the named woman didn't know she had until a doctor confirmed it. Deputy Arlen Voss was the first officer to notice the pattern. He told me, and I'm reading from his recorded statement, "Every person named in those reports was still walking around town when the report hit my desk. I'd see them at the gas station, at church, wherever. And then 2 days later, sometimes 3, they'd be gone. Not gone like they left town. Gone like they'd been erased from the ground they were standing on." The disappearances followed a precise timeline, 48 to 72 hours after each shadow-filed report. The named individual would vanish. No struggle, no forensic trace, no farewell. Their homes would remain exactly as they were. Coffee cups still warm, television still on, shoes still by the door. As if they'd stepped out of their own bodies mid-sentence and simply stopped existing. Sheriff Marion Kettle ordered the reports sealed after the 12th disappearance. He locked them in the evidence room and posted a deputy at the door. The deputy, Tom A.K., told me that on his second night guarding that room, he heard something inside. Not rustling, not scratching, writing. The sound of pens on paper, dozens of them, all at once. He opened the door The evidence room was empty, but on the table, spread out in neat rows, were 12 new missing persons reports, all filled out in handwriting that didn't match any living person in Marrow Creek, all describing residents who hadn't yet disappeared. Tom locked the room and called the sheriff. When Kettle arrived, the reports were gone. The table was bare, but the pens, 14 ballpoint pens that had been in the supply drawer, were all arranged in a circle on the floor, tips pointing inward. I spoke with Margaret Linden, one of 3 survivors from the original 47 named individuals. She was named in report number 31. She told me something that I've been unable to verify and unable to forget. The shadow that filed my report, she said, it knew things about me that I'd buried so deep I'd forgotten them myself. It described the dress I wore to my mother's funeral. It listed the words I whispered into the casket. It knew about the letter I never sent. Margaret survived because she left Marrow Creek the day her report was filed. She drove 6 hours to her sister's house in another state. On the 3rd day, the day she would have disappeared, she woke up at 3 a.m. to find every mirror in her sister's house covered with handwritten notes, all in her own handwriting, all saying the same thing. Come back to the creek. We haven't finished your report. The Marrow Creek Sheriff's Department was dissolved in April 2019, after the town's population dropped from 2,300 to under 400. The building was demolished in May. During demolition, workers discover a room beneath the evidence locker that wasn't on any blueprints. The room was empty, except for a desk, a chair, and a stack of 47 completed missing persons reports. Each report had a stamp at the bottom that read, "Processed, file closed." Each report also had a second stamp in red ink that hadn't been visible until the fluorescent work lights hid the paper. Next of kin notified, Shadow Division. No one in Marrow Creek knows what that means. No one wants to find out. This case file remains open. The Twilight Registry has classified the Marrow Creek Shadow reports as an active and self-propagating phenomenon. If you are contacted by someone filing a report on your behalf, someone you didn't ask for help, someone who knows details about you that no one should know, do not wait 48 hours. Leave immediately. And whatever you do, don't read the report. The Twilight Registry, documenting what shouldn't be documented.